On the broadcast tonight, we continue to traverse the country and delve into the counties to find out what's happening and to bring you analysis on the issues and politics in the run-up to the 2017 general election. Tonight, we focus on the county of Kitui, Coalition for Reforms and Democracy Code Co-Principal Kalonzo Musyoka's home turf. Our guest tonight is Kitui Governor Dr. Julius Malombe, University of Birmingham-trained technocrat who emerged in the run-up to the 2013 general election to beat seasoned politicians and become the first governor of Kitui County. Tonight, we put him to task about the performance of his county government 3 years on. Two senior politicians from the county of Kitui, Senator and Wiper Democratic Movement Kenya Chairman David Musila and former Cabinet Secretary Charity Ngilu have expressed their interest to unseat Governor Malombe. So we'll also talk about some politics. I'm Ben Kitili, Nairobi. Thanks for joining us. Choice 2017 begins now. You can call in studio later on in the show to just contribute to the discussion. You can also join this online on Twitter on hashtag Choice 2017. Welcome to the broadcast. Let's, as always, begin with the vote basket just to give you perspective of the numbers in the county of Kitui following the 2013 general election. Kitui County has a population of 1,112,709. That is according to the 2009 National Census. Registered voters, according to the latest IEBC numbers, is 324,673. Let's divide those in terms of the constituencies, the 8 constituencies in the county of Kitui. Mwingi North is one of the biggest, is the largest actually, according to IEBC. 43,934 registered voters. Mwingi West has 35,393 voters. Mwingi Central has 43,530 voters. And Kitui West has 37,025 voters. Let's move on to Kitui Central, which has 48,260 voters. Kitui Rural has 34,069 registered voters. Kitui East has 37,631 of those registered voters. And finally, Kitui South has 43, another large one, 931 voters. Let's take a look at the elected leaders in the county of Kitui, of course, following 2013 general election. The governor of Kitui is Dr. Julius Malombe, elected on a Wiper Democratic Movement Kenya ticket, our guest on the show tonight. The senator is David Musila, also elected on a Wiper Democratic Movement Kenya ticket. He is the chairman of the Wiper Party. Women representative is Winfred Nyiva Mwendo, also elected on a Wiper ticket. In terms of the representatives in Kitui in the National Assembly, the Member of Parliament for Mwingi North is John Munuve, Wiper. Mwingi West is Bernard Munyoki, also Wiper Member of Parliament. Mwingi Central MP is Joe Mutambo, also elected on a Wiper ticket. Kitui West is the current leader of minority in the National Assembly, Francis Nyenze, also elected on a Wiper Democratic Movement Kenya party ticket. Kitui Rural Member of Parliament is Charles Nyamai, elected on a Wiper Democratic Movement Kenya. That is my Member of Parliament. Kitui Central is Benson Makali Mulu, Wiper also, and Kitui East is Marcus Muluvi, also elected on a Wiper party ticket. The only Member of Parliament in the county of Kitui not elected on a Wiper ticket is the Kitui South Member of Parliament, Rachel Kakenyamai, elected on a NAC ticket. Let's take a look at the 2013 presidential voting patterns in the county of Kitui. Just putting a perspective to this, Uhuru Kenyatta, who was on a TNA ticket, managed to garner 40,751 votes. That is 15% of the votes tallied in the county of Kitui. Raila Odinga of ODM, of course, whose running mate was the Wiper party leader Kalonzo Musyoka, managed to garner 80% of the vote in the county of Kitui. That is 219,588 votes. That is 80% of the votes in Kitui County. That is how Kitui County looks like. Those are the numbers. That is how Kitui County voted. That is the representation in the National Assembly. And of course, in the 40-member County Assembly of Kitui, 26 members in that County Assembly come from the Wiper Party. Now, let's narrow down this conversation to what we are talking about. Of course, that is the gubernatorial race in 2017. Two senior politicians from the county of Kitui have expressed interest, as we've said before, to unseat Governor Julius Malombe in 2017. Let's listen in to what they have had to say lately.
Tunaomba kwa nini na sisi ni wa Kenya? Kwa nini tuombaombe? Na sisi ni Wakenya na tuko na haki ya mali ya Kenya, ikigawanya atupate yetu. Sisa yote tunaenda kuomba. Mtu tumempatia kura na mtu ameingia kwa uongozi, si ajue kazi yake. Na akiwa hajui kazi yake, jameni, sisi tuko na uwezo wa kupiga kura tumotoe kwa hiyo kiti.
As Wiper, we have said we have a candidate in the person of Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka for the presidential elections in 2017. Now, we think we have the best candidate, and it is our duty to persuade our partners to convince them that Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka from Wiper, the Wiper leader, is the best candidate for 2017. Now, they will convince us, and they will try to convince us, but then there's a mechanism within the coalition that we are going to use so that we eventually come out with one presidential candidate.
Welcome to the broadcast. This is Choice 2017. If you're joining us from the county of Kitui, you can join this conversation on phone later on in the program by calling our studio lines with your contribution. And our guest tonight is Dr. Julius Malombe, Governor, the county of Kitui. Bona Governor, thank you for joining us on the show tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Ben, for inviting me.
People are lining up to unseat you, former CS Charity Ngilu and the Wiper chairman, also Senator of Kitui County, David Musila, saying that they want to unseat you. Why is this flurry of activity?
Really, your guess is as good as mine. We all know the two of them. One was elected senator in 2013, and he still has 1 year to go as a senator. He should telling us more about what he has done as a senator, rather than talking about being a governor after just 2 years, having been elected to a different seat altogether. Charity Ngilu was elected in 1992, but she was not elected in 2013. Today, 2016, that is about 24 years since 1992. She was appointed by Uhuru Kenyatta as a cabinet secretary responsible for lands, housing, and physical planning. We know what happened mid-term. She was relieved of her duties. And of course now she probably has very little to do. And that's the reason why she's thinking she should join the gubernatorial race in Kitui. But it will not be as easy as said.
Do you believe you've done enough to get re-elected in 2017? Do you believe these two have nothing on you in terms of your track record?
I think my track record speaks for itself. I was elected for the first time in 2013. I had not run for an electoral office before. And since 2013, we have implemented 3,924 projects. And we are one county which really prepares a scorecard and shares this time with its citizens. We did that after 2 years. We did that after 3 years. In April, we did that. And we have reports for all the 40 wards showing exactly which projects have been implemented. And the record speaks for itself. And the people of Kitui, the electorate of Kitui, in all the 40 wards, they know precisely what we have done. And I think what we have done and the hope and aspirations we offer really going forward will be the best alternative for them.
All right. Yeah. We have done some survey for the residents of Kitui to just find out what some of the issues are on the ground, what they feel are some of the issues. We'll get into that. But before we do that, how is your working relationship with your county assembly? There are reports of some tension when the county speaker, George Njoto, led some MCAs to visit David Musila, the senator. How is that working relationship between you and your county assembly?
The working relationship with my county assembly is excellent. Initially, sometimes around March 2014, there were issues, and I think it's because we've just been elected to office. We are trying to find a working formula, and since then we have found a working formula. It is true, some time ago, was said, because I can't confirm conclusively, that George Ndoto, the Speaker of the County Assembly, together with some few MCAs, they went to the Senator Musila's home. Apparently, they were supposed to just go there, eat some goat, and just chat. But when they were there, a few MCAs apparently talked things which indicated they were not for me. Soon after that, after we engaged them, the whole thing fizzled out. I would say over 80% of the elected MCAs, they support me. And about 50% or so of the nominated ones, they also do. Of course, Wiper is the biggest party there. Musila is the chairman of the party. And we do not know whether some are fearing or whatever, who are nominated, thinking that if you go against sitting chairman of the party, you may not be nominated again.
Right.
But generally, when we come to what we were elected to do, to deliver services to the people of Kitui, to create an enabling environment for the private sector, both in Kitui and from without, to come and invest there to create employment and wealth for the people of Kitui. I think we all read from the same page, and going to 2017, I think we'll work with most of them.
All right. What about the rest of the elected leaders? One member of parliament, the one for Kitui Central, Makali Mulu, is on record saying that you have alienated especially the members of parliament.
Yeah, there's one thing which must be very clear, not only in Kitui, but in all the 47 counties. Right. The Constitution is clear. We have 2 levels of government, Article 6 sub Article 2 of the Constitution. There is the national government and there is a county government. And National Assembly members are elected to represent the people of their respective constituencies at the National Assembly, to legislate at the National Assembly, and to oversight the national government, which remains with 85% of the resources. So normally I do challenge my MPs that when we start engaging, when they are talking in public fora, they should talk about what they have done with the CDF in their respective areas, and what the 85% of the national resources which are left with the national government, for which they were elected to go and oversight, what is that money doing in our county? Because the county assembly members, the MCAs, they are the ones who are supposed to work with the county executive, there's the governor and the county executive members and the chief officers and the rest, to deliver services on the ground.
All right.
And then the oversight is supposed to be done by the county assembly.
All right.
I do agree there's an area of intersection. And any MP who is ready to work with me, I'm ready to work with them. Recently, when the Deputy President visited our county, he went to Kitui South. Honorable Rachel Nyamai, she called me and told me the Deputy President is coming here and is going to launch a TTI and a KMTC. And there is also a women's fundraiser which will take place.
Right.
And I responded as the governor should. I said, because we are responsible for roads, we are responsible for water, we are responsible for electricity reticulation, we will extend those particular services to those 2 institutions.
Right.
And I also gave some contribution to that fundraiser. That's a good example of working together.
Right.
Recently, I was at Itoloni Secondary School. Honorable Kitungi, Bernard Kitungi, joined me there, and we were able to serve the people there. And it happens quite often. Recently, we were burying the former Secretary General of the Kenya Local Government Workers Union, Boniface Munyao, and the court Secretary General joined us there, and we were there with the Honorable
So there is
Makani.
no particular problem with the elected MPs?
No, I wouldn't say there isn't a problem with some of them. Or I wouldn't say my relationship with them is as excellent as it is with the elected MCS. And I tend to think it's because of each one of us not appreciating and focusing on the precise role and work we are supposed to
I want us to leave politics alone for a while. We'll come back to that towards the end. Let's talk about some of the issues that the county, Kitui County residents have raised. Let's start with water, Bwana Governor.
Yeah.
There are some reports confirmed by myself that there are some residents of your county in Mutomo and Kitui South that are buying water at 30 to 40 shillings per jerrycan. Water was one of your issues that you promised to work on before 2013. Is there any end in sight to the water problem in Kitui?
Yeah, that is true. The water which is used by the people in Mutomo town and environs usually comes from boreholes at Ikanga. Ikanga is a ward which is just above, it's to the north of Mutomo.
Yes.
And because of the increase of population and sometimes the pipes being interfered with, the supply has not been very regular. But we have initiated a huge program which is costing 800 million Kenya shillings together with World Vision. And we are doing it 50-50. And the water, we are going to draw it from River Hadi. We call it the River Hadi, Mutomo. It goes to Kanziku, it also goes to Muna, it also goes to Ikoda. It's a huge project with about 15 tanks and pipelines which will extend the water to about 6 wards and serving an estimated 100,000 people. About a month ago, I was there and I inspected the project. The pipes were being laid, and we even went in, where the biggest tank, which is going to be 500,000 liters, is being constructed. If you go down also at a place called Ichuane, where we have constructed a resource center, there is another tank, 225,000 liters. And therefore, we think that will be probably a more permanent solution.
Right.
But we have also boreholes. We have a borehole at another, it's still in Mutomo, Kibuya ward, but on the Kibuya side of the ward, we have a borehole. It's called Mwamba borehole, and it's going to supply Mwamba town, Kisayani town. And I was there to launch it.
All right.
And previously, people were saying there's no water in that area.
So 3 years on, can you put some numbers to maybe how many people you've been able to help solve the water issue, even as you have these other long-term plans which you say are more permanent? How many people are water secure, so to speak?
Yeah, water secure defined as access to water within no more than 1 hour and in distance of no more than 5 kilometers, if we define it that way to start with. I would say about 40% of our population will be, we have done things which have made them water secure.
All right.
And we have partnered even with the national government and other agencies to ensure we get water. For example, there is a Masinga Kitui water project.
That is what I was coming to,
Yeah.
Mr. Governor.
Yes.
What is the status of that? There were reports of some interruptions in that piping water project, the Masinga Kitui water projects.
Yes,
Has that been solved?
Yeah, that was solved. That was some time ago. That water project commences from Masinga Dam, and it passes through parts of Machakos County. Masinga, Kalakala area, and so forth and so on. And the people of those areas felt that pipe should also be able to
Serving
extend
the
some
area.
water for them. And I remember I engaged the former CES for water, Professor Akung, and they were able to come up with some financing to provide water for the people of around Masinga and the Kalakala. Also, Dr. Mutua provided a little bit of money, and we were able to solve that particular problem, and the project has since been completed because it was stopped a little bit and the conductor was not able to continue, but the project continued. It has since been finished, and water is coming to Kitui, except sometimes the pumping system which was put there by the Chinese contractors, and the project was being overseen by TANA, the Water Services Board, occasionally does break down. Also, occasionally, the Kitui Waters and Sewerage Company Limited, which is the one which manages the water project, they don't raise enough money to pay for electricity at source, and the county government has to, from time to time, bail them out.
When do you think your government will be able to provide water services to Kitui People County at 100%? You say it's at 40% now.
Yeah, 40% I said is the additional number, which has access to water as a result of many
government.
dams, pipeline extensions, boreholes, water catchment areas like Gomeni water catchment areas and so forth. But in terms of the total number now which accesses water reasonably, but maybe not 100% comfortably the way we would like, because our target is to ensure there is there are water sources located at about 2 kilometers from each household, and people will take a maximum of 5 minutes, 15 minutes walking there, 15 minutes maybe drawing the water, and maybe chatting with a few people whom you find there because that's part of our culture, and then 15 minutes coming back. Right. So with that one, we expect it to cover almost 90% by the end of 2017.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the proposed cement plant in Kanziko area, which has not taken off because of some wrangles. Has your county government tried to step in to find a solution to this?
Yes, the Kansiku area, which is in Kitui South, and also Madima area, which is also in Kitui South, is endowed with huge limestone deposits, and which can support about even 2 to 3 factories, cement making factory or clinker making factories. The river mining has shown interest around Madima, Bamburi, East African Portland Cement, and lately, sometimes late 2014, early 2015, Dagote Industries also showed interest. Dagote is reputed as the richest industrialist in Africa, and they came and we had a meeting with them initially, but a bit of confusion came in when we did not have a liaison committee in there. And a liaison committee is a group of people who are elected by locals, but pursuant to guidelines which the county government has adopted. They went to the county assembly and they were adopted. And where we needed to have at least half of the members being able to engage with the investors on behalf of the community. People who are geologists, people who are lawyers, people who are economists, and from the area, and they're elected by the people. So that liaison committee was put in place, and Dagote saw the wisdom of engaging with the community through the liaison committee, and we arranged a meeting which we had in our offices in Kitui, and
So something is finally going to happen.
It is going to happen. What is sort of interfered a little bit with respect to Dagote is when elections came in Nigeria. You know, good luck. Jonathan was the president there, and then of course Buhari was elected, and I think they needed to reorganize themselves vis-a-vis the new political realities back home. And we still trust they will follow through, just like the other cement manufacturing companies will also do.
All right. I've just spoken about maybe how the people of the area, Madima, Kanziko, are going to benefit, from those companies that may get the contract to mine the limestone.
Yeah, one of the things we are encouraging is equity participation by our people. And we want them to constitute a company and buy shares and be able to participate as co-owners of any companies which start mining in any part, even in coal, for coal and iron ore and so forth. We think that would be very helpful. So that's one way they can benefit through getting the dividends from there. And then the other one is to be part of the decision-making process, because if you're in the board, you'll be able to make decisions. And then the other one is through employment. One of the memorandum of understanding which we want to be signed is to ensure that employment of people where the skills are not of a higher grade, and they can be found from the local area, we need to give our people priority from the local community.
All right, thank you. You're watching Choice 2017 here on KTN News. We are taking a quick commercial break. We are speaking about the county of Kitui, the issues there, of course, assessing the performance of the county government led by our guest in studio tonight, Dr. Julius Malombe, the governor of the county of Kitui. If you have any questions or contributions and you are watching us from the county of Kitui, be sure to call us. Our studio lines will be scrolling at the bottom end of your screen shortly. You can join this online on Twitter on #Choice2017. Don't go too far. We are back shortly.
This is KTN News.
This holiday season, treat your loved ones back home to the best entertainment. Buy a StarTimes decoder and enjoy 100 plus top quality and affordable channels.
Like Professor Hamo, you too can start living the star life. To start enjoying action-packed sports channels on Stardish, just call 0719 077 000. StarTimes, change your view.
From the western part of Kenya, I am Robert Wanyonyi, and this is KTN News.
This is KTN News.
This is Choice 2017, where we go around the country, crisscross, traversing the Republic, of course, going to the counties to just take a look and analyze different political and governance issues across the 47 counties in the run-up to the 2017 general election. Tonight, we are talking about the county of Kitui. Our guest in studio tonight is the governor, Dr. Julius Malombe. We were expecting to have the two other individuals who have expressed interest to unseat him in 2017. That is, of course, former Lands Cabinet Secretary Charity Ngilu and the senator for Kitui County is the chairman of Wiper Party, David Musila. They have not been available. What is your take on that, Governor?
Really, it was indicated that at least one of them will be around, and I said that would be very good for people so that they can critique me and I can really put the record straight. So I'm disappointed they are not here.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. There's this issue, reports, not reports. We have seen some governors, some of your colleagues of course, with other political leaders from the areas going to State House. The reason that has been given is to try and get some more funds to develop their counties. What is your take on this approach?
My take is very simple, and I've stated it publicly. That is the old approach to development. You don't need to go to State House to get anything from the president. Or what you need, if you're a member of the National Assembly, is to come up with motions, to come with the legislation, is to make sure, as you approve the annual budgets, there is provisions for your respective county. If we go to the old style of politics where people go for delegations to State House, then actually we are taking this country backwards. I don't support those. Honorable Senator Musila, that's one area where we disagree, because he was the first one to lead a group of MPs to State House, apparently to ask for the Kitui Road and so forth. And then there's another group where Honorable Mutambu was also involved. And of course, the first group, which was led by Senator Musila, they started critiquing the Mutambu group. And I used to ask, what is the difference? In fact, if we are to blame any group, it's the ones who started going to State House. We don't need that sort of politics. Let's stop them and implement the Constitution the way it is. A senator, for example, we want to hear a senator joining those who are supporting more financing for county governments. Right. The Okoa Kenya, the Pesa Mashinani, and so forth and so on.
In your opinion, now that you've mentioned it, that Kibwezi Kitui Road, which is of course under the mandate of the national government, as a county government, what would be your input to make sure that people of Kitui and of course Makueni benefit from that road? Yeah,
first of all, I wrote a letter to the then Cabinet Secretary, Engineer Michael Kamau, where it was 4 pages, 10 points, indicating, first of all, that road, unlike what people believe, it's not supposed to just service Kitui. It's supposed to service 12 other counties: Makueni, Kitui, Machakos, Embu, Tharaka Nithi, Meru, Isiolo, Garissa, Kirinyaga, Nyeri, even Laikipia, even Samburu will be served, because when that road is tarmacked, and not light tarmacking, but proper tarmacking where it can carry heavy loads, it will be able to reduce the journey, for example, from Mombasa to a place like Kirinyaga, with about 120, 140 kilometers. Of course, most of that traffic will pass through Kitui, and it will help in urbanization and also in making goods and services cheaper, and also encourage industry to be set up in those areas. So that is the first point which needs to be appreciated. And there are many other socioeconomic benefits. And so I wrote that letter, and I've been lobbying the leadership of the national government, even as recent as when we were in Sagana for the summit. Is something I discussed with the CS James Macharia, who is in charge of transport and infrastructure now. Of course, the president came to Kitui on 10th, and one of the things which were in his program was to go and launch that particular project. But later on, we were told, and if the president himself said that on 11th, when he attended an interdenominational service, which was attended by very many people, he explained this because things were not very ready, and they will be ready very soon in terms of getting a conductor and so forth and so on.
Mr. Gamara, let's talk to some of your residents via the phone, hear what they have to say. We have a caller on the line. I understand we have the Member of Parliament for Kitui West, who is also the Minority Leader in the National Assembly, Francis Nyenze. Good evening, Mheshimiwa.
Good evening to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What is your take on this conversation?
I just want to tell the governor to stop lying to the people of Kitui, and I want him to comment on some 3 issues. One is employment, contracts, and the actual development, what he had promised the people of Kitui to deliver, water, roads, electricity, and so forth. Very little has been done. If you look at the Constitution says 30% of all the contracts should go to youth and women, but they go to Malombe's relatives.
Sir, is it possible for you to substantiate what you're saying?
I'm saying no youth or women get contracts in Kitui when they are poor, because now they cannot, there is a lot of corruption. You have to give something to get. If you ask the youth of Kitui or the women, how many have benefited, how many have gotten contracts, it's impossible to get contracts in Kitui. The other thing is, about electricity, the governor, without consultation, has put electricity from Kitui to Kwavonza. Now, if electricity is used during the night, all the cars have their headlights on. What are we? We are paying a bill for lighting for the cars. And last but not least, the governor has done very few boreholes, and the problem of Kitui, the main one is water. And then it creates artificial crowds by referring people to take them all the way to Kanziku to go and see a borehole instead of meeting the local people there. So water delivered.
All right, thank you.
Water, electricity, and even roads. If you look at, compare it with Machakos.
All right, thank you, Mheshimiwa. Thank you, Mheshimiwa. We have noted your question. We have to talk to other residents. So thank you for calling in on the show. We have Patrick Mulu calling us from Kitui. Good evening, sir. Hello, sir. Can you hear us? All right. As we try to get Mulu from Kitui, Mheshimiwa has made some accusations there.
Mheshimiwa has started using a word which should not be used by a leader, that I'm lying. I'm not lying. First of all, let's look at youth getting contracts and tenders in Kitui. Our statistics speak for themselves. Figures don't lie. Over 36% of our contracts are accessed by people who are between 18 and 35 years. We are one county, and Honorable Nyenze may know this, or because sometimes he acts as the rabble-rouse and agent provocateur for Senator Musila. He may not realize this. We were one county which trained 2,000 contractors. And out of the 2,000, 50 from each ward. And out of those, 80% are youth. And we have a project, we call it Community Level Infrastructure Development Program, or CLIDIP in short, which implements projects in an equitable manner between 12 to 15 every financial year. And 80% of those, and we normally advertise, 80% of those are reserved for people who are trained recently, and I said 80% of those are youth. And whenever I go to various sub-counties, various wards, youth come to me and tell me, Mr. Governor, thank you very much. You trained us. We used to be idle. Previous politicians, including, of course, Honorable Nyenze, they never used to do anything. And they are in employment. And I can mention about other areas where the youth are benefited. That's one thing. The other thing he raised was, what is the second thing he raised?
Water.
Water.
Few boreholes.
Water, as we have said, we have sunk 69 boreholes, that is on record. And we have dams which we have constructed. You can go to various sub-counties in very many, I can mention quite a number of them. We have extended the water pipelines, a total of 123 kilometers. And I said we have made about 40% of our people access water nearer and clean water than they were doing before. Then the other things he talked about has putting electricity at Kwavonza. Kwavonza is home to two university institutions, Southeastern Kenya University and Seku University. Yes. And there is what we call in urban development, creating value for land. So we put some street lights within Kwavonza area.
All right.
And if you go there, the place is bustling with investors putting money there.
Let's hear what other callers, Mr. Governor, have to say. We have Patrick Malusi calling us from Kitui South. Good evening, Patrick.
Yeah.
Yes, good evening. What is your question, sir?
Mine is just to echo the remarks of Honorable Nyenze, because actually what we expected from the governor is not what we have seen him do, because actually 99% of the people who voted for the governor are people who never even met him. We had a lot of faith in the governor that will actually do what others could not do, bearing in mind that the government is giving the county governments a lot of money. But when we look at what the governor has done, so far we cannot see the impact of the monies that are being sent to our county.
All right, thank you, Patrick. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. You've made your point, Governor. How do you react to that?
That is not true. For example, let's start with the basic of all. We, as county governments, are responsible for early childhood education, or ECD. We have put up 535 ECD new classes in our primary schools. And we have put equipment in those, even in others which used to be there. And as a result, the number of children who are now attending ECD classes have moved from 65 to 88,000. This is something similar to what President Kibaki did after pre-primary education. A lot of people who never used to access primary school, they did. Even in our case, there are a lot of children who are not able to access. Again, we are the first county to put all our ECD teachers in the payroll. We pay them 2,196 of them. And therefore, these youngsters who used to be asked to go for money, for fees, so that the teacher could be paid, are no longer doing that.
Right.
And this is part of the reason why we have more children going there, because they are not asking for school fees. The teachers are concentrating because they are not going to, they are now not waiting for 2-3 months. Right. Let's take another area. We have put solar security lighting in all our 40 wards, and an additional 43 in the smaller towns, and the people are very happy with it. Water, Honorable Nyenze said water is number one. Yes, we agree water is very key to life, and we have done a lot of things. Take a place like Endau Malalani, where people used to spend almost the whole day. Women will go from their homes at 11 and they'll come back at 5.
Fair enough.
That is no longer an issue anymore.
Okay.
And that's where Honorable Nyenze was saying, although he talked about Kansiko, really it's in Endau Malalani. And people there are very happy.
Right. Let's leave those issues. Let's talk to, because of time, to some of the politics. Your opponents are already campaigning on the ground against you. Yeah. Do you have a countermeasure, or is it too early to campaign for 2017?
No. First of all, I was elected by the people of Kitui to deliver development until the next election. So my main campaign tool is development. And I'm doing those development, and I'm sharing what we have done with them. And the people themselves know what we are doing. The people, of course, who want my seat will say I've done nothing, and they will use all sorts of things. And if I had done nothing, they would not have started campaigning 2.5 years before the elections. That is because there's something happening. Otherwise, if it was a weak person, they would have waited till 3 months before. Right. And I have put my strategy in place. Actually, 75% of my 2017 strategy is already in place, and it is rolling.
Right. The fact, the fact that analysts, political analysts from Kitui are saying that Musila is relying on the Mwingi bloc, and yourself and Charity Ngilu have to kind of fight it out for the Kitui bloc. Does it sort of give Musila an added advantage?
First of all, if you look at the numbers, the Kitui side of the county, if we are to talk about Mwingi and Kitui, accounts for 2/3 of the total electorate. I mean, you show the figures there. If you have them, they will come to something of that nature. And it's not true that the whole Mwingi district, which the 2 constituencies before and now it has 3 constituencies, Mwingi North, Mwingi Central, and Mwingi West, supports Musila. In fact, there are some places where people don't want to hear the name of Musila because they say he has been in the leadership from the times he was a DC, a PC, he was elected for 15 years, and he was just concentrating in small areas. Of the 80 constituencies I inherited in terms of doing development, the most underdeveloped is the areas where Musila was in charge. And therefore, you go to certain wards, and there they really do not work. And so that math of saying, oh, Musila will get the entire block of Mwingi, and me and the Honorable Charity Ngilu will divide the Kitui, it's really, it's not going to happen.
Let's talk about the nomination. You and Musila you campaigned together in 2013. You are senior members of the party. Do you think that is going to split the party, the nomination, who is going to get the gubernatorial ticket for Wiper in 2017? Is it going to split Wiper party?
Yes, Musila is a chairman of the party. I'm a member of the Wiper Summit. Really, I do not think it's going to split the party at this point in time. Maybe, in politics, even 1 week is a lot of days. Things can happen. But if there is unfairness in the nomination, because we, at one point, the party leader, Kalonzo Musyoka, indicated clearly that we'll have his IBC doing the nominations. That is because he wants fairness. And there are a lot of people who want to be MCAs, want to be MPs, and want to run for the other positions. And they would like free and fair and credible nominations. Actually, one of our biggest problems is not necessarily the national elections, but the nominations, party nominations. And I like what my former colleague in the Task Force on Devolved Government, Senator Mokomen of Elgeyo Marakwet, was saying, that even Jubilee will use a high BC. And even really the new framework which has been agreed by the Select Committee leaves room for parties which want free, fair, and credible elections to use the parties.
For Senator David Musila being the chairman of the party, if for any reason you felt that the nominations are not fair, would you decamp to another party, being the incumbent?
Well, first of all, even if he tried to rig the elections, you will not be allowed to rig the elections. If he really wants fairness, the first thing he should do is to resign from his party position and say, I'm a gentleman, I don't want to be seen as giving myself an undue advantage compared it to others. So he resigns from the chairmanship of the party. And then he runs for governor. And then you see what happens. In Wiper, Wiper was established around 2013. So we were all there. We established it. I pay my dues.
All right.
I contribute to whatever needs to be contributed in Wiper. And we are going to fight it out there. But we are not going to allow a situation whereby a player is also a referee. Right. And we can't have a chairman. Last time, I was not running against him. In fact, now nobody ran against him for the senatorial, for the Wiper ticket. Now it's different. He's a chairman, I'm the incumbent, and he wants to run for the governor. Right. Whenever we say, let's have IBC conducting this election, he's the first one who contradicts that in every forum and every opportunity he gets. Of course, now he's claiming that the IBC will be too new, the one which will be put together
Is he afraid? Do
around
you think he's
September.
afraid?
No, if the will is there,
Right.
if the will is there,
All right.
you can have IBC
Final
conducting.
question,
Yeah.
Bwana Governor, very quickly. There has been reports that you don't have a very good working relationship with your deputy governor,
Yeah.
Madam Penina Malonza. How bad is that, or what is the status of that?
My deputy governor, we've been working well with her. Some of the people, more specifically Senator Msila, is preying on her and taking advantage of newness in politics, newness in public service, and to misdirect her. And as a result, at one time, she went in Musila's constituency, and with him sitting there, more or less instructing her, she announced she's going to be on that side. And you may, I don't know whether you know that, I went to Mutombo where she comes from,
Yes.
and I shared with the people there what had happened, and the people asked if they came, and the whole delegation from all parts from where she comes from, and said they are very sorry for this. Since then, there was a statement which she issued, which was in the newspapers,
All right.
which indicated she was sorry, and we worked very well. I have no problem with her myself,
All right.
but I would like to appeal to other politicians who are preying on a younger politician and misdirecting them to stop that, because they are destroying
All
them
right.
rather than building them.
All right, thank you so much,
Yeah,
Mr. Governor. Governor for Kitui County, Dr. Julius Malombe. We have been speaking about the county of Kitui, of course, the governance issues, the political intrigues in that county. Of course, as two senior politicians have vowed or have decided to try and unseat him as governor of Kitui in 2017. Of course, we shall continue to update you and analyze this, of course, what will be happening in not only the county of Kitui and of all the 47 counties in this republic. Be sure to join us every Monday night from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Choice 2017 as we give you the political intrigues in the run-up to the 2017 general election. I'm Ben Kitili. Thanks.